Good afternoon to all. My special thanks to Dr. Chinnababu garu, I think Madam can convey, and to WDC also for providing us this platform to express ourselves and of course, whether it is a camouflaged contribution or a real contribution, we need to definitely validate, no doubt. And incidentally, 13th June being a day that we are starting this particular activity where our Prime Minister Modi ji is in France unveiling Bharat Innovators 2026 with 150 startups there getting exposed in France. Right now he is there. So on that day we are doing this activity. I think we might have to give a pat on our own backs. And 13th June being the day where our second president Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan has sworn in as second president of India. 13th June is the day in 1952 our first parliament has taken over. So 13th June is the significance of that day. Thank you. So on this day we have been given a task. Yeah. On the incidental part is we are all together on that same day. So the trust was given to us to anchor AI in healthcare. While anchoring that, we have done our best to conglomerate and converge few of our, incidentally 6 of us were there actually, should have been there. Now we were only left with 2. Like you, another person joined with us, Dr. Advait. So like that almost 50%, actually 33% was our strength. 50% it has become somehow. Yeah. Now with this, we could come to some understanding about, so I am Dr. Muralidhar, she is Miss Priya Giri and Mr. Advait, you can lift your hands. So we could do some mental churning and intellectual deliberations have happened, let us see. So the recommendation 1 says that Telangana AI Health Trust Mark and Living Regulatory Compact, it is showing a strong majority towards establishing a state-administered, risk-tired AI health tech and trust marking, which is becoming a mandatory part of it. In trust marking, as you know very well, there are 4 to 5 segments need to be taken into consideration to get that trust mark, in which the mandatory location validation on India data sets and post-deployment bias auditing is very important. Once, as the second table, I think, second table was talking about post-deployment validation. I think we were also advocating that very clearly. Once an AI model is finalized, post-deployment validation need to be done preferably by a third party. That's what we thought it need to be. Like in India, if we see the third parties, we can entrust that to either and request AIMS or NIMS or KGH, some validated institution to do a post-deployment validation for that, which will give authenticity for the model to go ahead. Then an enforceable patient rights charter also to be aligned with, aligning with our DPDP 2023 model. Because that is very important. Unless a patient and the real stakeholder or the consumer, I can say, of that service what we are going to render, unless he is involved and he is giving his nod for that, I think it's better not to go ahead for that. We thought and we felt it like that. And governed as a quarterly refreshed living compact and delivered through a government, industry, academia and PPP model. Public-private partnership, we thought of having that will go a long way. Because I myself, if you ask me, I worked with some of the institutions where when we tried this in diagnostics, for example, we have tried these public-private partnerships with Medall Diagnostics. We have enrolled franchises also, like MGM Warangal, KGH, Vizag. We tried these PPP models which worked very well in healthcare industry. Because the intellectual property of corporates and privates can be conglomerated and converged with government also to elicit a synergistic response for that. So we thought PPP models also will work out very well here. And coming to the local validation, as I already deliberated, patient rights also we deliberated, like a workforce. Because in Telangana, if you look at, there are around 5,000 medical workers, healthcare workers are there. So those people need to be first trained with basics of or fundamentals of AI. Later, it can be taken to the level of clinicians, paramedical and medical staffs. But incidentally, when we are bringing about such a change, we were also deliberating on that aspect of change management. Because something new, we were all so far in a comfort zone of pulling on with the conventional aspects of operational modalities. Now, once we graduate or get escalated from this conventional modality to some change, some new technology to be inculcated within ourselves, I think the restlessness will come. People will feel that they are getting into hot plate. And there will be definitely a resistance or hindrance. That change management is very important to be done. If possible, change managers or some project managers need to be installed who have done some Six Sigma certifications and all. Then only the things, I strongly feel that a Six Sigma certified person need to enroll this particular change transition, which will go a long way to become an effective aspect of it. Efficiency may be there, but as long as the throughput is zero, it can never be becoming effective. So in that way, we thought it should go in that way. Now, current situation, the economic impact, social impact, and strategic importances are given more priority, whereas the trust mark, there is a gap, a lot of gap is there for this gap need to be filled by aligning the regulatory mechanisms with CDSCO, as well as we have the software as medical device. AI becoming a software as medical device, the regulatory outputs as well as the regulatory stringent policies need to be made by CDSCO also, as well as the ministry also. If you look at even the recommendation bodies like ICMR, National Medical Commission, probably these people together to work out, to bring about that stringent policies and mandate policies towards that. Now coming to the state-wise or the Indian government alignment with our ideas, I think we could get aligned well, considerably well from 7, Make in India, Vikasit Bharat, Skill India, Digital India, India AI Mission. Our deliberations were almost getting aligned, 7 and above, whereas the other parts, the national education policy, yes, we could not dwell much on that national education policy, how the training programs need to be given, how nurturing need to be done about AI. Yes, in bits and pieces we could capture that, but it was not that explicitly done. Now, looking at this India 2047 and the innovation ecosystem, there was a medium type of approach from our group. Whereas if you look at responsible AI for all, frontier technologies, national data governance, I think we could live up to the expectation of the government also, where there was a high alignment that we could see. Coming to the states, our ideology was almost getting matched with the states like Tamil Nadu, Telangana, and almost Karnataka. Almost these 3 states started implementing some of our ideologies. Of course, we didn't copy that. Incidentally, it could happen that we were converging towards the commonality in our ideas. Whereas Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, and Maharashtra, yes, probably we may have to relook into our thinking to become a national perspective. Actually, here in this slide, I want to give something else in this. My idea was, when we are enrolling this education mechanism or nurturing mechanism, ideally it should go in that way that for that 5,000 health workers, because the understanding capabilities or perception capabilities will be differing from those 5,000 health workers, clinicians, in that also medical and paramedical staff like nursing, they will be having different IQ capabilities. So in that way, when we are enrolling any course to them, whether it is 12 months or 6 months, let it be in the form of the minimum to be achieved can be, the percentage can be in a graded manner or in a tiered manner. For those health workers, let the percentage, minimum percentage achievement that can be 50-60%. Whereas if it comes to the clinicians, it's a mandate. Clinicians as well as paramedical staff, it can be 70% and 80% above to the clinicians. Once they come to that stage, I am very sure the execution excellence can be seen with a thumping success rather. So public-private partnership opportunities. Now, this three-tier, this one risk-based certification for clinical AI, that's what we were just discussing about, 3 tiers. In that tiers also, these tiers can be the stakeholder-wise 3 tiers, as well as if you look at actually ABCD is the tiering model of CDCSO as well as the regulatory authorities. Actually A, B, C, D will be low risk, minimum or medium risk and high risk. In that modalities also it can be 3 tier. Coming to the quarterly, the living regulatory refresh cadence, that's also is found to be almost matching with that. And state administered AI health trust mark. Again, trust mark we could touch upon all the 4-5 points in that. I think when a state need to enroll this AI through trust mark eligibilities and regulatory mechanisms, definitely they need to follow those 5 stringent rules to be adhered with. So, one-page executive summary, if we look at the recommendations, establish a state-administered risk-tiered AI health trust mark governed as a quarterly refreshed living impact on that. And the 4 pillars, what we could find out is risk-tiered certification, mandatory local validation. That's what we have been telling. Though you want to apply the global scenario, taking European unified CE model, that is confirmative, affirmative European model, or if you want to go for ED, that is Emirates drug establishment model also, whichever it is, better to get validated in Indian environment and in Indian scenario, then you can have a third party validation before you go for deployment. That's what we thought about. Then the next one is an enforceable patient rights charter. As I said, better to involve the end user or the stakeholder to be there inside the system to validate the AI analysis, and human overriding is very important. However good the AI input, of course the prompt that you give is also very important. Prompt engineering is definitely to be taken care. At the same time, however good prompt you have given, though the solution is almost matching, many a times we have seen it will not be matching with the clinical symptoms, as well as the interface between doctor and patient needs to be proved to be sometimes wrong in AI hallucinations, as well as the algorithmic as well as biased data provided by AI. Sometimes no, AI will give based on the cloud data that it has achieved, it will be giving a biased data, but clinical symptoms prove otherwise. That's why it is always better to vet it out. I think with this, I think I have taken enough of your time. Thanks for bearing with me.